Show me the answers that I want. Reason to believe in the soul. Don't believe.
Well, I don't know if they've improved or gotten worse playing live. I think the songs stay as good as they ever were, but they did go over well live.
It becomes more familiar with the fans.
Yeah, and like the one thing that we noticed kind of early on was that we could play songs from the album that weren't necessarily singles, but they'd be like a deep cut on the record, and then our fans would know them. The last, like when we play our full like headliner set, we end with the last song on that album sometimes. That's a deep cut, like that's the last song on a new record, you know. And kids know every word, and they go crazy for it. So I mean, it's working well with our fans. They like it. I remember the first show in Italy in particular. It was right after that. The
earthquake.
The volcano.
The volcano, yeah.
And we had to fly from LA to Milan, and you know everything got grounded, and like there's this huge fucking death cloud over Europe from the volcano, and like we had to do a million flights and changes. It took us forever to get there. We landed in Rome. Everything had been canceled. We had to take a train from Rome to Milan. We hadn't slept in 30 hours, and then like we get into these seats, and we didn't even buy these seats. We just snuck onto the train. Our tour manager's like, "It's fine. This is a direct from Rome to Milan. There's no stops. You guys are fine." So we all finally pass out in the first class seats. There was one stop, and we wake up, and there's this woman banging on the table. Bah, 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 bah. And we wake up, and it's the whole like Florencia football team, the whole team, and matching Adidas jumpsuits, and we're in their seats, and they're all yelling at us and like, "Get the fuck out of there!" All in Italian, and we're like, anyway. So we finally get to the show after this huge ordeal. And we get on stage. It was the best fucking show. The crowd, like it's like the room exploded. It's like they could feel the energy from us having to get to there, like how intense it was, and it was like the crazy show. And ever since then, anytime we play in Italy, like the shows have all been amazing. So I don't know.
Everybody's got a secret. Can you tell me what is mine? Can you tell me what you'd find? I'll tell you if you keep it. I promise not to lie.
The thing is, like when you first come out with your first album, that's what you seem to get labeled as right away.
Yeah.
So the first album was popular than everything else that we released in the future.
Yeah.
But everything else in the future was a lot heavier. So if we would have released, say, this album first in our career, we probably wouldn't have got that label. But I guess they just say, well, they were a pop punk band in 2001, so there's the pop punk band. And it doesn't really, we don't really think about it, to be honest. We only think about it when we get asked the question.
Yeah, that's the time it really comes up. But anyway, yeah. We decided there's a charity or NGO in Canada called War Child, and we met them, and they asked us if we'd like to do something. And we were like, well, we don't really want to do just like a benefit show. Like, what else can we do? And they said, well, we do this thing where we send bands into the war zone. It's called Artists in the War Zone, and you go and like they send people to like Iraq and Afghanistan and Sierra Leone, and you know, like all sorts of places. And we were like, okay, well, where can we go? And they sent us this big list. This sounds fucking insane now at this point. Like, if you look back and you're like, Artist in the War Zone. Like, it seems like a catchy title, but really, quite literally, that's what it is. And so we picked the Congo because, you know, they sent us all this information about a bunch of places, and that's one that we were really interested in because nobody knows anything about it. You know, we had this one guy who we kind of became friends with, this big fucking Canadian guy named Chuck, who we named the album after. And he was like, he worked for the UN, and he was like the only connection we had to the UN peacekeepers. And you know, he was like, you know, so I was kind of watching him, and he'd been in a lot of these situations. I was watching the Congolese people because they were like, they've been in a lot of these situations. And I remember like when we could hear machine guns all the time, and we're all like, this is kind of crazy. And they're like, we're accustomed to this kind of music. When those guys started to look scared, then I was like, okay, now we're fucked. I mean, yeah, it was insane. That was the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, ever.
These guys are looking to go fucking crazy right here, huh? You like the metal shit, huh?